What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show on the beautiful first Monday night of the NFL season. It's Monday night of week one. We've got Bills Jets tonight. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, Joey Wright, and our special guest today, we've got Jagger May here with us. What's up, Jagger? Thanks for taking the time to join us.
I'm here, guys. I'm ready to pretend I'm smart in the only format that I could actually succeed in Jeopardy.
Woo! That's what our show is. A bunch of guys pretending they're smart in the one area where they maybe have an excess of knowledge that the general population does not. Each of us has an additional side specialty. Joey, movies. I don't know what mine is. We'll figure it out. Guys, if you're not already following our friend Jagger on Twitter, you need to go and fix that right now. You can find him on Twitter at Fantasy Blue Chip, and you can check out his work as the host of the Dynasty Hour podcast and the Dynasty Degens podcast and over at Football Guys. We got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Grim fan stopping by saying, come on, sandwiches.
No sandwiches today. I apologize.
No sandwiches on the game.
I had a sandwich for lunch. It wasn't very good, though.
I had gnocchi. That's kind of like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. My girlfriend ordered Jimmy John's, so right after this, I got an Italian nightclub waiting. So,
it's sandwiches all around for the hosts up here today,
beautiful,
fan, but not in the game. We got our chat historian Craig stopping by saying today's guest is making his second FYF appearance, undefeated so far, 1-0 in games, winning pole perception, teamed with Joey to defeat myself and Tim last time he was on.
All right,
defending your perfect record today in a new game. We got Scott Fish stopping by saying hello. What's up, Scott? And Andrew stopping by saying hello as well. Philly Mike in here. Sounds like you're feeling pretty good down there in the chat. What a great Monday afternoon you're having. Dame stopping by to say hello, hello. What's up, Dame? Glad to have you in here. And Tim wants to know, Simon, what the hell is that shirt, you traitor?
Tim, Simon is a traitor. Look who's not a traitor. I wore this just for you, brother. Teal and orange, just for you, buddy.
Tim, I like the Dolphins, and I have no love for the Patriots, but what I love more than the Patriots and the Dolphins is a sick shirt. And I found this at Goodwill for Texas Thrift for $1, and I'm going to rock it. Whatever NFL team is on a good shirt, I'll wear a good shirt. We got Pigskin Panic stopping by with the piece. What's up, Pigskin? And Jay, he comes whenever Jimmy John's is mentioned. Yeah. You've summoned him into the chat, Jagger. What's up, Jay? Welcome in. And Cody Smith as well, part of the Jimmy John's contingency, stopping by saying the Jimmy John's Italian is a slapper.
Yes. This is the Jimmy John. We're pro Jimmy John's house here.
We had a question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I'll say that's very true about Jay. At least once a week, I'll call him. He's inside of a Jimmy John's. Picking up at least once a week.
Never at a normal time to be inside to Jimmy John's. It'll be like Wednesday at 5:30 a.m. or Sunday at 9 p.m. and he's in a Jimmy John's. We had a question from Grim fan in here before we get into our game. We got to see this Rams offense maybe look a little bit better than we were expecting this weekend, with Puka Nacua kind of leading the way target-wise for that team with 15 targets, Tutu Atwell with 8. What Grim wants to know is, of these wide receivers, which one are you prioritizing with Kupp on IR for at least 4 weeks? Jagger, I'm going to throw this to you. Do you have any love for Puka Nacua or Tutu Atwell?
I have a lot of love with Puka Nacua. He was one of those that I try to target everywhere. I didn't target enough because I try to pick up those late round running backs, and weirdly this season I lost. But out of both of those guys, Puka Nacua is easily the more skilled and refined route runner. There's a reason why he earned all those targets. Whereas Tutu Atwell, he's going to be a very, very poor man's Deshaun Jackson. It's not going to be fun, at least for right now, starting him week to week, because he's going to be boom or bust. So
Scott Fish kind of agreeing with you down here, saying they called him Discount Debo all offseason, and that is far from an insult. Saying he's got great hands, and they haven't even utilized him as a runner yet, which he is good at too. Joey, are you agreeing with Jagger here? Is it going to be Puka Nacua?
100%. I thought it was going to be the Tyler Higbee show yesterday, and I was wrong. It was the Puka Nacua show. 10 receptions in that game. I am all in on Puka Nacua. He's probably going to be, I would say, the top waiver ad this week as far as wide receivers go. So if you're going to put a bid on him for Fab, you're going to be spending up to get him.
So far, our Tyler Higbee tier 32 call is looking pretty good from the draft guy.
Pro tip, he never should have been on your waivers to begin with. It is statistically
Beautiful.
more likely for these rookie wide receivers to break out than most of the vets that you're drafting in those late rounds. Like Jaden Reed, Puka Nacua, all these guys, even Josh Downs, he showed something. Like all these guys should have been drafted. So
Correct your mistakes. Week 1 waiver wire. Philly Mike OG showing off he found at the Goodwill Randall Cunningham jersey for $10. That is gorgeous right there. Albert stopping by to say hello to everyone. What's up, Albert? Glad to have you in here. And we got Hal stopping by as well, saying, how's it going, y'all? What's up, Hal? Glad to have you in here.
Welcome.
Well, guys, today we brought Jagger here, not just to talk about Puka Nacua, though I am sure he will come back up again before the show is over. We brought him here to play a game we're calling Fantasy Football Jeopardy. Joey put this game together. It's going to be me versus Jagger head to head. And before we get into that, though, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not already following our guest, I said it once, I'm saying it now, and I'm going to say it again. Follow him on Twitter at Fantasy Blue Chip. Do not follow him in real life. He's told me specifically he does not like that. So please just follow him on Twitter. After you do that and check out his work over at Football Guys, Dynasty Hour, and Dynasty DGens, make sure you head on back over here to our YouTube channel at Front Yard Fantasy and hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. It's the easiest way to make sure you don't miss out on what we're throwing down every day at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So far, it's been game shows, but who knows? One day we might fight on here. You ready for that, Joey? I'm just going to show up in Orlando, ready to fight at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Dude, that would be terrible because I'm not a good fighter. And we all know that you were a good wrestler in high school. So I feel like that did transfer over to your adult years. I guess we'll find out.
So I looked to my right, and this weekend I found my boxing gloves in my closet, and I put them on and ran up, and she was like, put those boxing gloves away. She was like, well, you do not need to have boxing gloves out. So now they're just in my office.
Oh, God.
One last reminder. Tonight, we've got the Bills-Jets game, and during it, you can play along on the BetterCast tonight on the Better Sports Network app. It's free to play, and you're going to earn points by predicting the outcome of the game throughout the game. Questions like which team will score next? What will be the outcome of this Jets drive? And which running back will finish the game with more yards? If you outscore your opponents, you're going to earn some tickets that you can use in the store to spend on some sick team gear and autographed memorabilia. So come play along on the BetterCast tonight. There's some pregame questions in there now that you can start getting some points rolling. And then once the game starts, they're going to be pumped through your screen live. All right. You guys ready to get into some Fantasy Football Jeopardy?
I've never been more ready for anything in my life. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to explain the rules and hand it off to Joey to explain the categories and run this game. The game today is Fantasy Football Jeopardy. If you've ever watched the TV show Jeopardy or been on it, this is going to look very familiar to you, except with a couple small changes. First and foremost, most of these questions are going to be about the NFL or fantasy, hence the Fantasy Football Jeopardy. Next, we will not be buzzing in. We are going to go in turn order. So me and Jagger will alternate back and forth throughout today's game. Get your question right whenever it's your turn. You're going to add that money to your score. Get it wrong, we're not subtracting any money during the normal round here. Now, there is one other twist to this game. If you get your question right, you'll get to pick the category for the person that goes after you, not the value. But Jagger, you'll be going first in this game. If you get your first question right, you'll then get to tell me which of these categories I have to pick my next value from. Now, we're going to go back and forth like this till we run out of questions or run out of time, at which point we will go into our final Jeopardy question. Joey's going to give us a category. We will write down our wager for that amount, anywhere between 0 and the total amount you had banked thus far in the game. Get it right, you're adding that money to your score. Getting it wrong, we are going to subtract that money. Whoever has the most at the end of this final Jeopardy game will be our champion. Jagger, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby.
I am going to introduce these beautiful, wonderful categories that I designed just for you guys today. The first category is week 1 overreaction. I'm going to give you a week 1 overreaction. You fill in the blanks, you answer the questions. It'll be fun. Horseshoes and hand grenades, you just need to be close. And I'll tell you how close you need to be. I'll give you a stat, a number, and you give me the number, but it's got to be close enough within the range I give you. Grab bag could be absolutely anything at all. Could even be a football question. NFL stadiums. Is there questions about NFL stadiums? And then better man. I'll give you 2 or 3 players, and you tell me who the better man was yesterday as far as PPR fantasy points goes. Everybody get that? Oh, Simon, you're muted.
I was going to ask on the last one, in what way are we qualifying them as better men? But you
Who
clarified.
scored more points?
Yeah, the only category that matters.
Yes. PPR fantasy points. So who scored more points between the 2, 3, or 54 players I list in the question for you? All right, Jagger, you get to go first today. You get to pick your category and your value. Where are you going to go?
Better man for 300.
All right, better man for 300. Where is my mouse at? Here it is. Jordan Addison, Calvin Ridley, and Mike Evans. Who scored the most PPR points out of those three?
Calvin Ridley.
You are right. Calvin Ridley had 24 fantasy points yesterday. All right, so good job, Jagger. It's going to get you 300 points. And let's talk about Calvin Ridley for a second. That beautiful number 0 on his back. Jagger, how did you feel about Calvin Ridley yesterday with what you saw on the field? Do you think he's the wide receiver 1 for the Jaguars?
Yeah, and he's back. He's all the way back. He looked good. With like to me, I just needed to see it in a real game, and he did it. All the talk is actually true. I love the number 0. I wish that I could use that number back in the day. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm all in on Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, that number, it was big and wide. That 0, wasn't it? It's just how the Jaguars numbers are, I guess. It was kind of neat.
I'm with Jagger on Calvin Ridley, and I am a little sad about a lot of my Christian Kirk shares. That first game showcased that Calvin Ridley was in fact fully back, like Jagger said. He took that time off, but did not regress at all during that time period, it seems like. And I'm just excited for this Jacksonville offense. It looks like it will actually develop into something good. Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne had that big run. Like, we saw the pieces work the way they were supposed to, even if it wasn't necessarily the prettiest game beginning to end. So I'm
Zay Jones might not be gone either. He might still be relevant.
Zay Jones was the highest scoring player on my Guillotine League roster that I put out this week.
That's what I was going to say. Like, on one of my first dynasty teams ever, I picked up Zay Jones, and like, I've been trying to trade him for 2 years, and I can't like drop him because he's like, is he still good? Like, he's just one of those players where you don't believe that he scored double digits every week, you know? So that's
he's
the
like
biggest shocker to me.
He's like a Taysom Hill that you want to like.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Jagger, you got that correct. So you get to send Simon to his next category. Where are you going to send Simon?
NFL stadiums for 200.
Or I still get to pick the value.
Yeah,
but
pick the value.
I'm going to try to keep it tied here at 300 and go with 300.
All right. Which one of these NFL cities does not have a stadium that can fit at least 70,000 ticketed fans? Foxborough, Green Bay, Los Angeles, or New Orleans?
Green Bay.
Sorry, Simon. It's actually Foxborough.
Damn it. I thought Green Bay was old enough that wouldn't be that big of a stadium.
Yeah. And I had to rephrase this question because I originally didn't have ticketed fans, but then you could fit 70,000 people in any of these stadiums. It's just how tight are you going to get them in there? Put some on the field. So I had to rephrase this.
Stuff those boxes.
Yeah.
How many can you legally seat?
Yes. Without the fire department showing up. All right. Well, Simon, you missed that. So, Jagger, you get to pick your own category and your own value. Where are you going to go?
I'll take Better Man for 400.
Better Man for 400. Justin Jefferson, Zay Jones, and Jacoby Myers.
I'll just go with what I know, Justin Jefferson.
It was actually Jacoby Myers. Yeah.
I knew. I was like, this is a trick question. I was like, Jacoby had a really good game. He had a really good game.
Yeah. So 29.1 fantasy points. Jacoby Myers was much more involved than I ever expected. He might be the player I missed the most on. Simon, how did you feel about what you saw from Jacoby Myers? Because we didn't see anything from Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, I was going to say the first thing I thought about Jacoby Myers is, well, there goes Hunter Renfrow's fantasy relevancy, at least while Jacoby Myers is on this team, because Jacoby was out there for all of the snaps that we would have seen Hunter Renfrow out there for previously. And it looks like he's absorbed a lot of that role this season. Now, I don't expect him to out-target Devontae Adams on a weekly basis, but it worked. We'll probably get more games like this throughout the season. I'm not expecting this every single week, but what I am expecting is weekly involvement, and especially in PPR leagues, like weekly flexibility from a player like Jacoby Myers with this kind of upside.
I'm not gonna lie. Hot take. I do think Jacoby Myers can out target Devontae Adams, and that's not because he should be out targeted. It's just I've been a Patriots fan a long time, and the Raiders are the Patriots 2 electric boogaloo, and they're like, we will bring in a super talented wide receiver, and then we'll still dump it off to this quarterback turned wide receiver that went undrafted, and I made like a fantasy dunzo list like at the end of free agency. When Jacoby Myers came in, you had to put your Hunter Renfrow shares down. Like like the game's over. You missed out. It's done. It's done.
Yeah, he dropped a 0 on a couple of my more desperate rosters this week.
Scott Fish Thomas today. Go ahead, Simon.
I was gonna say I've never had a more desperate week 1 than I did this year. Like, I don't know about you guys, but the amount of like Jerry Jeudy and Christian Watson and just all these players on all of my teams led me to start like Hunter Renfrow in 2 leagues. Like, that should never have happened in week 1.
Simon, this show's not about your fantasy team. However, I would like for you to tell us all how your guillotine league started out, how your draft went, and then just go through it all for me.
Round 1.
That was the highlight of my day.
Round 1. You know, in these 18-team league formats, we just have the not lowest score. A star quarterback can really lock down your roster and keep you alive for the first few weeks of the season, even when the rest of your team falls off. So I drafted Lamar Jackson. That didn't go well. Round 2 pick in this league comes back around the turn, sitting there. There's some talk at this point in time that maybe Jonathan Taylor's not going to play, but the prevailing opinion at this point is that he probably will play week 1, either on the Colts or somewhere else. I draft Jonathan Taylor in round 2. So there's my first 2 round picks, a grand total of like 9 points for them. Comes back around. I draft Christian Watson in round 3. Doesn't play in week 1. Comes back around. I draft Jerry Jeudy in round 4. So on this 18-team league where all I have to do is not have the lowest score, I get a combined 9 points out of my first 4 picks on this roster. And then to just punch me in the stomach one last time, Devon Chain was my RB2. He was a healthy scratch. So I started Samaje Perine, Rico Dowdle, Hunter Renfrow. Zay Jones was the superstar of that team. And it did not go well, my friends.
All right,
Simon.
One less league I have to keep track of.
All right, Simon, let's boost your mood a little bit. You get to pick your own category and your question.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, 400.
All right. Within 4, how many times does Maui say "you're welcome" during his musical number "You're Welcome" in the motion picture Moana?
I'd like to say, I'm trying to play it in my, like, how many times does it go through that?
Within 4.
He says it.
I thought these were going to be fantasy questions. I'm happy.
The only one that's not fantasy question.
Thank God you stepped on this landmine. I don't have kids. I don't
have kids, but I do love an animated musical. I've got this full screen so I can think it through. Definitely fewer times than Carly Rae Jepsen says "really" in the song "I Really Like You," and that was a solid 67 times. So it's lower than that, higher than 10 for sure. So somewhere between 10 and 67. I'm going to go with "You're Welcome" 31 times.
He only says it 20 times, and that includes the "You're Welcome" echoes. So anything between 16 and 24 would have been an acceptable answer, but instead we moved to Jagger. Jagger, pick your own category and your own value. Where would you like to go?
Better man for 500.
All right, Jagger. Evan Ingram, Hayden Hurst, and Donald Parham.
Hayden Hurst.
Jagger, you are absolutely correct. Well done.
That's because of you, Joey.
I made it short this week that Jagger helped me on. And Hayden Hurst was my tight end pick, bargain player of the week. So I'm glad you got that one, Jagger, because you got to sniff that one right out.
I'm buying it after 1 week. I am buying into Hayden Hurst as a viable weekly startable tight end in fantasy this season after the connection between him and Bryce Young was kind of showcased in that game a little bit week 1. I think it's a wide open floor with the receivers that they have in town. Jonathan Mingo, Terrace Marshall, Laviska Shenault. Like, why can't Hayden Hurst be the top read on this offense for a quarterback getting used to the league? So I'm sitting here thinking I'm picking him up in every league where I don't have a Travis Kelce, a Mark Andrews, a TJ Hawkinson, just to see what that role turns into.
Yeah.
And
I love
I was going to say that, like I said on Club FFL, like Hayden Hurst is realistically the best wide receiver on that team. Maybe Jonathan Mingo can improve, but Adam Thielen is cooked. We know triply well that Terrace Marshall is not good. Like we really, really extra know that for real, Terrace Marshall is never ever going to happen, and the same for Laviska Shenault. So.
You just snuck the little dig to LaVisca in there at the end. In case any LaVisca truth, Terrace Marshall will never make it in this league. He's no good at football, and same to about LaVisca Shenault.
God. All right, Jagger, you get to pick Simon's category and value.
Not value.
And NFL stadiums.
Right. Oh, man, I'm real good at these. 500.
Yes. This technical NFL stadium has 2,168 toilets, the most of any NFL stadium in the world. Such a shame NFL fans will only have access to use them once this season.
This technical NFL stadium has 2,168 toilets, the most of any NFL stadium. I'm full screened here, so I'm not looking at the chat. Such a shame NFL fans will only have access to use them once. So I'm guessing it's one of the international games. And technical, I was originally leading it as like a clue that this was sponsored by some tech brand, but now I'm thinking it's just technical in the sense that they play a game there every once in a while. This is I'm
going to type out my answer.
This is a Lions in Germany. Allianz.
Jagger, what do you think?
I was going to say Mexico City.
The correct answer. Andrew in the chat got the correct answer. It's actually Wembley.
I was between Wembley and that. Yeah. Man, I went back.
Wembley Stadium.
It's just Germany screamed more toilets in the stadium to me than London.
I'm American, so that's my answer.
I feel like people in London hold their pee. They're like, yeah, I've been holding my pee for 2 years. Didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
Grim fan with a correct domestic answer. Soldier Field, because the Bears franchise is going in the toilet. Maybe the new Soldier Field will have a lot of toilets. I don't know. I didn't get the specs on that yet.
So. Excuse me.
Scott Fish saying there are 2,618 toilets there.
Also, Jaws in here was
Scott is saying I had the wrong number. It's even more than I said.
Jaws agreed with me, saying got to be a German one. I'm with you. German stadium screamed hyper efficient. Let's get all the toilets in and out.
All right. Simon, you missed that. Jagger, you get to pick your own category and your value. Where would you like to go?
Better man for 200. Let me just wipe this out.
Jagger's going to clear a category. Aaron Jones or Samaje Perine?
Aaron Jones was the RB1 this week.
He was at 26.7 fantasy points, and Samaje Perine with 11.8. I'll take it.
He did all right. Yep. He did good enough.
Did all right. Just good enough.
Flex play, baby.
Sweating all day. All right.
When Aaron Jones pulled up and grabbed his leg, though, I just about cried. I was like, no, not another one. Not another one. But it looks like he's going to be all right.
Yeah. All right. Jagger, you got that correct. You get to send Simon to his category.
I'm going to take my foot off your throat a little bit. I'm a generous God. Week one overreaction.
500. And I go big or go home, and it's mostly home.
This wide receiver is completely washed and can be cut in all formats after he finished the week with 1 reception for 1 yard on 5 targets in his 11th career game with the Kansas City Chiefs.
This would be Kadarius Toney.
It would be Kadarius Toney. And once again, for these week 1 overreactions, these are not my overreactions. These are people just overreacting. I don't want it to be misconstrued as that.
I think that is just an apt reaction, but that
was going to be my question. Is that not an overreaction?
No, Kadarius Toney fits the profile of a receiver that I never want a part of. Even like I do my rookie scouting in the offseason. Most of these gadget players that aren't very good route runners don't really translate well into the NFL, and we're kind of seeing that now. If you can't earn your own targets and you need manufactured touches, even in a Chiefs offense that kind of rewards that player, you're not going to do well. So Toney, we can stop. We can stop. It's done now.
Yeah, I was not very encouraged by what I saw out of Tony. And so would you rather, if you have to have one, say you've got a really deep bench, would you rather have Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney, Jagger? Or is there another Chiefs receiver?
Sky Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Another Chiefs receiver, Rashee Rice.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, he did look good.
Yeah, to me, he's the one to own. Like, he's not very polished either, but he does just have more transferable skills. And like, we've already kind of seen someone who fits that model, which is like Demarcus Robinson. You know, like someone who can go up and make a play, has a good possession profile. He might not be like a stud, but on the flip side, Rashee Rice is a rookie. He's an old rookie, and he has room to grow. So he like to me, if Demarcus Robinson is his floor, then I'll take that over someone like Tony or Sky Moore. But the real answer is the Chiefs need to either hope Justin Ross is somebody or actually draft somebody worth having. So
yeah, I agree with you on that. Grim fan asking us a question here. Do you like Hunter Henry next week? Simon, do you like Hunter Henry next week?
In as much as I can like a tight end in the glob, he hasn't done enough to fully separate for me from the other tight ends that you're just hoping for a touchdown from necessarily, but I think he's involved enough that you can plug him into your lineup.
Perfect.
That he's no worse than a Tyler Higbee. If you're like disappointed in Tyler Higbee, go drop him and pick up the guy that's maybe getting a little bit more targeted or has a little bit more of a rapport with his QB.
All right. So Simon, I think you got that one right. So you get to send Jagger to his next category. Where are you going to send Jagger?
You know what? He's loved Better Man so far, and he's quite a bit ahead of me. So let's send him to Better Man.
A little gamesmanship. All right. Better Man for 100. Jagger, Anthony Richardson or T. Higgins and Drake London combined?
This was an easy one. It's Anthony Richardson all day, man. It's
so sad to see.
Yeah.
For all the
T. Higgins and Drake London together.
0 points for both of them. Do you guys think those guys have a good chance of bouncing back? Is there one of them you're worried about?
I'm worried about Drake London.
Yeah, I'm worried about Drake London. Like Arthur Smith, like regardless, like I'm going to use my platform to take another shot at Arthur Smith. He needs to stop blaming his decisions on fantasy players, because to me, you're spending high value resources on players that you're not utilizing. So, like, to me, as an owner, as a GM, as anyone who invests in the Atlanta Falcons, I'd be like, cool, run your offense, but stop wasting draft picks. Okay, I'm done. So
no, I'm with you. Like, what the hell are they doing with Drake London and Kyle Pitts on the roster if they want to give Tyler Algier the kind of workload that he did behind Bijan Robinson?
Yeah.
T. Higgins, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
That game
was just a bad
weird.
game.
It was bizarre. They got too far behind, and T will be T. Higgins and Joe Burrow will be Joe Burrow next week.
Absolutely.
Poor. Who are they playing next week? Who do the Bengals have?
I'm still in week 1, Simon. Why did you do that to me?
I'm sorry.
We'll find that out. But hey, Jagger, you got that right. So you can send Simon to his next category.
It's NFL stadiums again.
400.
I'll let him have
400. All right. This stadium housed the highest combined point total of the 2023 NFL season. I mean, so far.
Do you need the name of the stadium? Yeah.
I do need the name of the stadium.
Is it Hard Rock? Final answer?
I might have messed this up. Did they play that game in Hard Rock, or was it
probably not? And my memory is just terrible.
Okay, so it was SoFi. Your memory's terrible, Simon. You suck. Okay.
It felt like a Dolphins home game. I feel like I tuned in to watch the Dolphins, and that's why I assumed it was a home game.
Wait, now Cody's saying Hard Rock. Oh, man. I know I did my research on this. It was at SoFi.
I believe
because the Rams were in, I don't know. If I got it wrong, chat, correct me.
No, even home games in SoFi feel like home games for the opposing team a lot of times, and they were loud for the Dolphins. That would make sense if I mix up a home game anywhere, that it would be in SoFi at a Chargers game.
LA doesn't care about anything
except tacos and hikes.
The Dolphins fan rubbing it in even more. It was in LA, so it was away win for the Dolphins there. All right. Let's see. So, Simon, you missed that?
Yeah, I missed it.
Oh, man. So, Jagger, you get to pick your own category again.
Grab bag for 300.
Ooh, grab bag. Bailey's Antiques and Aloha Shirts Incorporated is the home to the largest selection of Hawaiian shirts in the world with over 15,000 unique shirts in stock. Which NFL quarterback has not thrown for 15,000 yards in his career yet?
Carson
Josh
Wentz.
Allen, Jimmy and so Carson Wentz, your final answer?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was a quick buzzer.
It's actually Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, Carson Wentz actually has over 15,000 yards. Normally on this show, I like to find a way to take a dig at Carson Wentz, and I couldn't even do it this week. So
that's
apologize.
An indictment on Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, that is shocking. That is shocking. Okay. I was really confident in that answer.
I don't know. When he was in San Francisco, I feel like his normal game line was like 197 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Just didn't ask him to do too much.
Yeah. If George Kittle and Deebo Samuel didn't bust it for 50 yards after breaking 4 tackles, it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
This is a fun show. Who got that? Who missed that? Who got that? No, Jagger.
I did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You missed that.
Yeah.
Simon, pick your own category.
Give me week 1 overreaction for 400. That's where my only points came from. We're going to see if I can do it again.
The insert name here are the only team to have scored 0 points on the season. They are probably going 0-17 and will still mess up their overall number 1 pick by taking a junior college defensive tackle or something.
This would be the New York Giants.
That'd be correct, Simon.
It was so bad, I almost forgot that they were even part of that game. Know what I mean? Like, I just remember Dallas had 40. I legitimately almost forgot the Giants had 0.
There was a question, Simon, I talked about earlier this morning when we had our usual wake-up call where we call each other immediately when we wake up in the morning to see how we're doing.
Yeah, of course.
And why the hell was Tony Pollard still in the game in the 4th quarter?
I don't know.
Like,
and I hate to go back to it, but boy, did I need some Rico Dowdle carries there at the end of that game, and I didn't get a single one, even though I looked to my fiance and I was like, oh, it's not looking good in this league. But the Cowboys are up 33-0. Surely they'll bench their running back, the position that is most likely to get injured. We've already seen a season-ending injury from a running back today. Surely they'll bench Tony Pollard, especially without someone like Ezekiel Elliott there on the roster. And they kept playing him. I don't know. It seems stupid. I think Mike McCarthy's the answer to why they kept on playing Tony Pollard.
Jagger, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about the New York Giants this season?
5
after last night.
6.
5.
Like I think we saw ugly football all day. Like it's kind of like we were talking about last season, that without the four weeks of preseason, that this is like preseason week 4 for real. And on top of that, I think that the Cowboys defense is for real. Like, that team is good. Dan Quinn's a good defensive coordinator, and they've got a lot of talent. And the Giants learned that you can't build around a slightly okay quarterback with just Darren Waller and a bunch of injury-prone slot receivers. You know, like they needed something other than Isaiah Hodgins. So,
Scott Fish would like to know, Simon, what was her reply when you said all that to her?
Direct reply was, sorry, I zoned out for a second. Can you say that again? At which point I did not say that again because I was the only one in that room who cared about that.
All right, Simon, send Jagger to his next category.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Okay, 300.
300. Within 3, how many receptions did Puka Nacua have in yesterday's Los Angeles Rams victory over the Seattle Seahawks?
I think
10.
Yeah, that's it.
On the dot, Jagger. Way to go. So we kind of already talked about Puka Nacua earlier. Any other Rams wide receivers you're interested in while Cooper Kupp's out?
No, not at all. I have to really, like, even Higbee was like, no.
All right. Yeah, we notoriously in the FYF draft guide, we declassified draft guide, we put Higbee down real low. And when Cooper Kupp was out, I was like, guys, I think we need to look at that, but maybe we don't.
You stand by your convictions sometimes.
This is true.
Evidence, you refuse to give up on what you believe in, and Tyler Higbee does what he did. And here we are.
And just a reminder, chat, if you guys have any fantasy questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. We'll definitely answer them during the show. Unless I missed them, then you asked them earlier, and then I'll have to get back to it. All right. Jagger, you got that right. Send Simon to his next category.
Let's finish off NFL stadiums. I don't want any
200.
part of this. I don't want any part of this category.
200?
Yeah.
All right. This stadium has served as the host to the most Super Bowls in history. Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, or Super Bowl? Superdome.
200. Man, this makes me think it should be easier. I'm going to go with the Superdome because I remember multiple in there.
Simon, you are correct.
Okay.
That $200 question. Where's the Super Bowl at this year? Is it in Superdome?
Vegas, right?
Is it? Oh, it is in Vegas because, yep. It's absolutely in Vegas. Oh. They'll get to take that little catwalk from
In the
Mandalay
Death
Bay.
Star.
Yeah. Oh, it does look like the Death Star. They have that now. They have that huge orb. What's it called? What's it called?
I don't know. I
Vegas
don't
is
remember.
a big ball. Is it the dome? It's
I
a
don't
real
know.
simple name. Oh, there's a huge circle in the middle of the desert now, and they had as an eye. the other day.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, I don't know what that's called though, but yeah, I want to see that.
The Sphere, Andrew says in the chat.
Oh, the Sphere, Andrew. That is correct. The Sphere. I think U2 is opening it, so that's
Ugh.
pretty cool. If you like U2,
They seem a
U2
bit. I was gonna say they seem a bit overqualified to just open a place.
No, I mean like Bono has the keys and he's going to open it. I don't know who the band is that's playing it.
That's what I'm saying. Like they probably
As
should have
long as
gotten.
it's not you two, I'm okay.
Oh, it's the Madison Square Garden Sphere to be precise. All right, Simon, you got that correct. Send Jagger to his next category, please.
Let's send Jagger to NFL stadiums.
Oh my God, that's the optimal move. It's the optimal move.
This stadium, named after the razor I used to shave my neck this morning, will put Tom Brady in its Hall of Fame next summer.
Gillette.
That is correct. I had to shave my neck actually this afternoon because I didn't want to lie on this question. I did forget to do it this morning. So just want to put that out there. And my wife was shocked that there was a stadium named Gillette.
Well, Joey, thanks for not making
The best a
yourself
man
liar
can get.
here. Supposedly, Harry's has got something to say though.
Hunter 18's in here. Hunter's got a question for us. Do I need Schultz to back up Waller, or can I just roll with Waller PPR?
I'm not using a roster spot necessarily on a second tight end. If you have Schultz and Waller, I'm probably looking to move one of those guys to a team that's nervous about tight end after week 1. And then if Waller or Schultz goes down, whoever you decide to keep, just play the waiver wire. Pick up a Greg Dulcich, a Chigoziem Okonkwo, a Hayden Hurst, a Ferguson every week if you need to. But there's names on the waiver wire you can grab now that I don't think – like Schultz is an expensive backup, man, at a onesie position.
Go trade for Kyle Pitts so you could be miserable with me.
Oh, I think we're sadly all in that boat. I wish we weren't all together. But all right. Who got that right?
Jagger did.
Jagger got it right. Jagger, send Simon to his next category. Remembering who got it right is harder with 2 people than it is 3. I will say that.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
And I will go for 500, baby. Go for the lead.
All right. Within 5, total points scored in the Philadelphia Eagles versus New England Patriots game.
Oh, God. I wish I remembered all these scores. The Eagles won. The Patriots scored more than I thought they were going to. So
I'm going to need an answer.
49.
49. Simon, you just snuck in there to get that right. Barely.
I'll take it.
Bringing you into the lead for the first time today, I believe. The Jaggers close behind with $1,500, only $100 behind. And I did remember to do Final Jeopardy today. We're not getting to that. I just want to point that out because it might
the real reason I'm wearing this shirt is as an apology to Mac Jones. I have been just piling on that I wanted Zappy to be the guy all off season, just waiting for the day, the news out of training camp that Zappy's looking better than Mac Jones. When we got reports that Zappy looked better in the first 7-on-7s, I was ready to just fire Mac Jones off the Patriots. And I was wrong. Mac Jones looked more than competent out there this weekend. I know they lost that game, but he looked like a good quarterback, and he was making the best out of the weapons that he does have there on that team.
Yeah, quarterbacks perform better when a defensive coordinator is not offensive coordinator.
Weird, right?
It's almost like when you put in the batteries backwards, stuff doesn't work. You know?
That's a great way to describe Matt Patricia Collin plays.
Craig, our chat historian in here, reminding us that 5,800 is the Jeopardy record too, so you both know. So just keep that in your minds.
Does that mean we're doing bad?
No, it means you might have a shot at the record if you
okay.
guys keep getting questions right.
You clean up here, then double it in Jeopardy, in Final Jeopardy.
All right. And Simon, you got that right. So we're going to Jagger?
Yep. And I'm going to send Jagger.
I nailed that.
I'm going to send Jagger to week 1 overreaction.
Before we get to that, I want to answer this question real quick. JSN, Zay Flowers, or Puka Nacua PPR? We'll just say rest of the season is what this question is.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with
enough yesterday. I completely agree with you, Jagger. Zay Flowers might have been the standout player for me yesterday. Just the one that I was most blown away by.
I've been telling everyone from the rooftops. I've been holding them out over, Mount Pride, like freaking Rafiki, whatever. Like this is our
like
king now.
That was better.
Yeah, like he's our king now. So
I'm with you. And that Ravens offense isn't going to be as bad as it was yesterday the rest of the season. They're going to get it figured out.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jagger, you said 300 for week 1 overreactions?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tyler Algier is the unanimous RB1 in Atlanta. I mean, he did have more blank than Bijan Robinson. We should have taken a quarterback. Is it A, total yards, B, touchdowns, C, carries, or D, all of the above?
All the above.
Jagger, that is correct for $300. Is this an overreaction? Are you guys worried about Bijan's workload, or is this kind of what you were expecting?
No.
Yeah, there's no worry for me either. What there was confirmation excitement that, in fact, this Atlanta Falcons offense is going to do exactly what they did last year, if not more so, in running the ball. And that means even if Bijan Robinson has 300 touches this year, Tyler Algier can still be fantasy relevant. The dude can still be a fantasy startable option most weeks in that flex spot if they're just not going to throw the ball again.
Grim fan asking, is Musgrave for real, Joey? He is a real boy. Yes, he is real.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
All right, Jagger, you got that one right. You can send Simon to his next category. Where are you going to send Simon?
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
200 for me.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, 200. Within 25 yards, how many receiving yards did Tyreek Hill have in yesterday's Miami Dolphins victory over the Los Angeles Chargers? Within 25 yards, Simon.
A million. Let me actually adjust it.
Final answer?
No. 205.
Simon, you were close enough. You
I'll
will get
take
the
it.
points on that. 215 receiving yards. Tyreek Hill said he was going to have 2,000 receiving yards this season.
He might.
Is it possible, guys? Is he going to do it?
If Tua's healthy for 17 games, the dude just might. Every time he touched the ball, I said audibly, God, he's so fast. He's so fast. Like, it's like you forget during an off season just how fast he is out there on the field. He looks like his legs are moving and like Derrick Henry fast. He doesn't look like he's moving fast, but then he just leaves people behind him. Tyreek Hill looks like he was singled out by the broadcast and had his legs put into fast forward while all the other players are still in regular. Like Adam Sandler sitting in the background with a click remote controlling Tyreek Hill to go faster than everybody else on the field.
Tim doing the math for us. He only needs to average about 111 yards to get 2,000.
So he's getting 4,000 is what Tim's saying.
Yeah, so Tim's well, Carlos is in here a little late, but good to see you, Carlos. And he's glad to see that Jagger is in the lead. Well, he's playing against Simon. So while Jagger is getting these questions right, and that's an accomplishment in his own. Oh, wait, now they're tied. So everything I said is bullshit. So, yes. There we go. All right. Simon, you got that
correct.
Right. So you get to pick Jagger's category.
Let's send Jagger to grab back.
Oh, thank you. 500.
All right.
Anybody gonna get these points gonna be me.
Through a scientific process called high pressure, high temperature synthesis, What ordinary household item can be turned into diamonds? Mothballs, peanut butter, WD-40, or Windex?
Peanut butter.
Jagger, well done, my friend. That's going to bring you up to $2,300. It's going to put you in the lead, and you get to pick Simon's next category.
Yeah, they had to lock up chemicals and all kinds of stuff when I was a kid. Like I would, I know how to make like bad stuff, like bombs and stuff.
All right, show us what
well, I meant like I like stuff that goes boom and horseshoes and hand grenades. You're gonna get the baby points.
100.
All right,
but I'm gonna get points.
Simon, within 12 points, PPR fantasy points for Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't remember the exact number. Within 12, I will say 22.
You are within the range that you needed to be, Simon. So you're going to get a whopping 100 points. Christian McCaffrey, the running back, one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that 49ers offense looks good. And Brock Purdy came out and showed everyone, hey, it makes sense that they made me the starter. And I'm excited for Christian McCaffrey.
All right. Andrew's saying, what is the number 23? That was a good movie. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I don't remember if the number 23 with Jim Carrey is a good movie or not.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Jagger, it looks like your face is frozen up there on a quite handsome and excited face. We'll see if we can get that figured out.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So do we want to go ahead, Simon?
I was going to say we can wait for Jagger to come back here for a moment. Also, Andrew was letting us know he was just making a guess in the form of a question. We don't enforce those rules here, but you are more than welcome to do that. Also, Grim Fan down here saying Hill will finish with more yards than Tua this season, implying that Tua is not going to play a full 17. Joey, while we're waiting for Jagger to come back, what you saw from this Dolphins offense yesterday, are your concerns around Tua assuaged at all, or is it because the concerns are around his health, specifically concussions, it's still the same worries about a quarterback like Tua?
I don't have the same worries. Just watching him play yesterday, it looked like he was doing everything he needed to do also to protect himself and to get the players that he needs to get the ball to. I'm not worried about Tua at all. I think the Dolphins might be one of the most exciting offenses in the league, and absolutely they are. We saw it yesterday, so I'm not worried about Tua at all.
When a game that's supposed to be the most exciting is the most exciting, like a game where you're excited about it, you're supposed to be excited about it. How often do we go in and the final score of that game is like 17-6, and then you just leave thinking like, what the hell happened here? That game lived up to every last ounce of what I wanted it to be.
I was having like just illusions leading up to the game of that Rams Chiefs game that was like it was over 100 combined points, yeah. And I'm just like, I can't live up to that, and it didn't live up to that, but man, it lived up to what I thought it was going to for the week. So
it got close.
I was really excited, yeah.
It got close, and we've got another one of those style of games tonight. I feel like with the Jets Bills, not quite the same high flying, explosive offense level of excitement, but there is a lot of excitement around it because the Bills. Again, one of the Super Bowl favorites heading into the season. Then you have the Aaron Rodgers-led Jets, which could be anything. Like, we know their defense is for real. This could be a playoff contending team, or this could be another mess. We saw teams that were living somewhere in that range of I don't know if they're good or not kind of fall apart this weekend. What are you expecting?
I'm worried about Josh Allen tonight. I'm worried about the Bills offense, honestly. I know they're one of the most explosive offenses in the league. Josh Allen, top 3 dynasty quarterback. But this Jets defense, I think, is for real, and I think they're going to show out tonight. And Aaron Rodgers has a huge chip on his shoulder. I think Jets win. Like I put money on the Jets through my bookie, Sam Wagman. And but yeah, I'm fully expecting the Jets to win this game tonight.
Tim in here, not necessarily agreeing, but saying Bills Jets about to be 17-13, and I don't care who wins. No, I'm somewhat agreeing with you. So, Joe, you're saying there's a chance that Stephon Diggs scores less than 3.23 fantasy points tonight?
Stephon Diggs will score 7.9 fantasy points tonight.
Damn it. I need less
PPR
than 3.
leagues. If that happens, I am showing up in the shirt in the Tiger tracksuit tomorrow. If it's 7.9 PPR fantasy points.
I'm with Carlos. I'm hoping Sauce is going to be a saucy boy tonight covering Stephon Diggs. Though we're in that beautiful position for the first time in the season where I need Stephon Diggs to show out in one league to win and to absolutely stink in another to lose. And it's the joy of fantasy football. While we're waiting, Hunter in here had one more question for us. Wanted to know Algier Dillon or Brian Robinson. Thanks for all the help. Joey, which one of these three backs would you be taking?
I'm hoping it wasn't just the Cardinals defense, but Brian Robinson looked really encouraging yesterday. If Aaron Jones is out for a while, though, it has to be AJ Dillon. But I don't think he's going to be gone longer than a week. So I'd go Brian Robinson, actually.
I'm with you, Joey. It's Brian Robinson for me as well. He appears to be the best running back on that roster in this Commanders team. Again, exactly what you're thinking, Joey. I want to see it against a different team, but they looked like a competent offense. If Sam Howell can clean up his game a little bit, get rid of those 2 picks. He also had 2 touchdowns, and I think that's a nice compliment to a back like BR. I'd love to see him in there. Algier, I think, is a weekly startable kind of player, though.
Yeah, Grim fan, do you guys think the Bears made the wrong choice on getting both DJ Moore and Justin Fields in previous seasons? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
One game. Yeah.
And I also think if they made a mistake anywhere, it was in not prioritizing that offensive line more this offseason. They can only cover up so much by getting their quarterback a true alpha. But whenever he doesn't have time in the backfield like that, he's not going to be able to make it happen. Well, Joey, I don't know if Jagger's coming back in here. We'll see if he gets back up. But I think we just continue this game for a moment. It was my turn, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
We'll get one more question in there. And if he doesn't show up, then I get to do Final Jeopardy by myself. And we'll see if I can win anyways.
Simon, I'm going to send you to week 1 overreaction.
Okay.
For what?
200.
Value? Okay. With 2 touchdowns in the first half, this 49ers wide receiver will finish the season as the team's touchdown, receiving yards, receptions, and field goal leader.
This would be Brandon Ayuk.
Simon, it would be Brandon Ayuk. I want to talk to you about Brandon Ayuk, Simon. Just you and me, one-on-one. No one else is watching.
Mano y mano.
Earlier this year, we were both kind of on the Ayuk train a little bit, saying that he might be the better option than Deebo Samuel. Do you think after 1 week we can start making that determination, or do we need to see it pan out a little bit more?
You know how they talk about like therapy not being a linear journey, right? Like there's setbacks, it goes down. It's going to be like that in this 49ers wide receiver situation. This is like therapy. Brandon Ayuk is the wide receiver 1 in that offense. And by the end of the season, when we're looking at the full stat sheet for both players, the game logs, we will confidently be able to say Brandon Ayuk was this team's wide receiver 1. But I do not think that means he's going to look like it each and every week. We're going to have these huge Deebo weeks. Deebo's far too talented not to be more targeted than Brandon Ayuk some weeks, not to outscore Brandon Ayuk some weeks. And this offense, I don't think is predicated to go through any specific player. If the game plan calls for it to be a George Kittle week, it calls for it to be a Kittle week. If it calls for it to be a Deebo week, that's what's going to happen. On the whole, I like Ayuk as the wide receiver 1 here. I would put my money on him to finish with more fantasy points than Deebo Samuel, more targets, more receptions. But on a week-to-week basis, you're going to see some fluctuation in how these guys are used, I think.
Perfect.
Fluctuation.
I think we can get through one more round and then Final Jeopardy. So, Simon, you got that right. Send Jagger to his next category.
What's up, Jagger? Welcome back. Can you hear us?
Guys.
All good.
Yeah.
Let's send Jagger to week 1 overreaction.
This quarterback will go down as the GOAT after the Cincinnati Bengals made him the highest paid player in NFL history.
Who is Joe Burrow?
That is correct, Jagger. And you get to send Simon to his next category.
I wonder where.
I'll take grab bag for 4.
You want me to say it? Grab bag.
This colorful 1994 basketball film starred Nick Nolte, Shaquille O'Neal, and Anthony Hardaway.
No, what is this? I'm going to be so mad.
You are going to be so mad.
Yeah,
I can't
you are.
wait.
You're going to be crazy mad.
Purple Thunder.
The correct answer is Blue Chip.
Oh my God, you buffoon, Simon! You knew that one.
That was too good.
All right, guys.
Yeah, dude, that's totally where my handle's from.
Oh God! All right, guys, get out your pen and paper. We got Final Jeopardy coming up. The category will be, I don't remember what the category is, but I did do it, and it's in captions. It is breakfast. That's the category, breakfast.
Breakfast is the category. How many points do I have to wager, Joey?
2,100.
And how many does Jagger have?
Jagger has 2,400.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I got my wager written down.
Jagger, do you have your wager written
Do I
down?
need a pencil?
If
You
you
could
got
just
it,
put
or
it
your
on-
phone.
If you use your phone, if you just draw on your phone, you can do that.
Whatever you'd like to do down there. Man, the chat knew this one, except Carlos came in and said Shazam and then said, oh shit, it's Kazam.
I've
Sometimes
not watched Blue Chips in a very long time. I probably need to watch that.
I need to
But
get
I was a
okay.
big Orlando Magic fan, so having both those guys in a movie at that time in my life was huge.
I think I need to go back through Shaquille
Okay, mine's
O'Neal's
written down.
entire filmography.
All right, show me your wagers, gentlemen. Simon going all in. Jagger, what did you put down?
2,100.
All right, so both
Oh, so
2,100.
Well, I know he'll beat me because that's how math works.
And my
if we
pen
both
ran out
do
of
it.
ink. Wow, that actually happens. Pens run out of ink. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do it in my mind. So here's your question, guys. What percentage of Americans start their day with a bowl of cereal? A, 30%, B, 40%, C, 50%, or D, 60%?
Every day?
Every day.
Given the American
Is this-
cereal landscape, that cannot be healthy.
Yeah, I was about to say I got a lot of questions there.
Yo, I ate half a family-sized box of Reese's Puffs the other night at like 11 p.m.
That's what I'm saying. Who eats it for
So
breakfast
good.
anymore? Like, I'm an adult. I eat cereal late at night when I hate myself. And like that's
Yeah, when I've tried
Yeah.
to sleep twice and it hasn't worked, and so I find
Yeah.
myself in the kitchen, that's when the Reese's Puffs are coming out.
Now, Jagger, is that when you start your day at the end of the night? Because I mean,
It's a philosophical question.
yeah, no.
The day starts when the torment begins internally.
all right, you guys have your answers?
I got my
Yep.
answer.
Okay, let's see them. A, 30%.
B.
Jagger, I can't see yours. Is it
B, 40%.
Well, you are both wrong. The correct answer is 50%. But Jagger, you're going to win with $300 because Simon lost everything. Congratulations. You moved to 2-0.
2-0, undefeated on the Fantasy Football Game Show.
That's all-
Jagger,
that's all that
congrats on your
matters.
big win.
Hey.
Everybody watching, if you're not already following our friend Jagger on Twitter, you need to go and remedy that. Just like Shaquille O'Neal is in the movie Blue Chips, you can find Jagger on Twitter at Fantasy Blue Chip and check out his work with Dynasty Hour podcast, the Dynasty Degens podcast, and over at Football Guys. That is going to be it for us today. But Jagger, before we go, I want to give you one more big thanks and congratulations for taking the time to come on today, my friend.
Thank you. You guys have me back anytime. Always fun.
Awesome.
Thank you to everybody in the chat as well who came by. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more Fantasy Football Game Show fun. Until then, though, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Enjoy Monday Night Football, and we will see y'all on another time.
See ya.
There was a